you.
Right, so to start, we saw it made for the Cage 10.
Yeah.
What did you think to the event?
It was good. It was a really good event. I think it's the best one they've done, to be honest. Every single fight was a good fight. There wasn't one bad fight.
Apart from one?
Oh, well, yeah. That wasn't bad because I got to see Chris Douglas get fucking dropped by light. So,
what is it about Chris? In that interview, he said that you not disrespected him so much, but you'd said quite a lot of bad things about him in the past.
I didn't say anything, to be honest. I can't even remember what it started from. What it was is like, I think I had an opponent pull out on BAMMA once, and we were desperate for somebody, and somebody said that he wanted the fight. So I was like, right. So I went on Twitter. I said, if you want the fight, let's have the fight. And he took fucking big offence to it. So whatever, it sort of went on. I asked BAMMA for the fight. BAMMA wouldn't put the fight on because he said his record wasn't big enough. He said it wasn't a fair match. And then he's gone on about it ever since. Like, I get his ambition. He wants to be on the big shows and all that and blah, blah, blah. But he's just fucking stupid. If he fights me, he'll get hurt, especially going off that performance last week.
Yeah, he did nearly get sparked out, to be honest. I know he won the fight, but he
won the fight. He won the fight by fucking taking a guy down. Like, credit to him, he took a guy down that's got fucking zero ground game, led on him and choked him. The guy was throwing boxing combos off his back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's he got dropped by Mark Larty's he's a lightweight. So, you know what I mean?
He was supposed to fight Yannick Bahati on the same card that was it the same card?
BAMMA.
Listen, Yannick Bahati is a good fight. Yannick Bahati would have killed him. So I don't know. It's like he's had 4 or 5 fights. Like, I'm not saying he's terrible. He's good, but he's obviously got some skills. And I know people talk about him from the northeast and rate him, but I just think he needs to just take his fights as they come and not jump too far up, because I think Yannick's got a similar record, but I rate Yannick highly. I've watched a couple of his fights and he's really good. So,
Did you ever watch his fight with Matt Allen?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
What did you think to that fight? Because Matt Allen's a big beast, man.
Yeah, I like both of them. Matt Allen looks bigger on videos than he does in real life. I met him at the last BAMMA. He came over and introduced himself. He's a really nice guy. And, he wasn't as big as I thought he'd be, but he's a lot bigger than me. And people say I'm a big middleweight, so... You
seem to get on with all the rough-ass guys, apart from one that we interviewed, and he said why he took a dislike to you, but I know that you've always tried to set up doing some kind of sparring with those guys. Is that something that you'll ever get to do, do you think?
I don't know. I get on with Jimmy really well. I look up to Jimmy. Like, he's been an inspiration for years to me. He's good. I get on with all the other guys down there. They're great. With the Matt Howard thing, I don't even know where that came from. He said I insulted him, or I said I insulted Travellers, something like that. Mate, I could reel off 20 names of Travellers I'm really good friends with now. Do you know what I mean? So I don't even know where he's got that from. If he can find an interview where I insulted Travellers or insulted him, or he can get some proof, then fair enough. But to be fair, the kid's pulled out on me twice anyway, so...
I know he suffers with his hands quite a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, apparently he wants to stop fighting in pubs then, doesn't he?
To finish off with the Chris Douglas, would you ever fight him, or...
Yeah, I would do. To be fair, I'm with Cage Warriors now, and I couldn't see Cage Warriors putting a 5-fight guy against me who's had like 22, 23 fights. To be honest, I don't think Ian Dean would do that. BAMMA didn't want to do it, and so it's just one of them things. But if he wanted the fight, I'd happily fight him. I think it'd be an easy fight for me, to be honest. He's got a good ground game. I don't think it's any better than mine. And he goes on, right, about this grappling competition, right? And it's on YouTube. You can search it, right? I'll give you a play-by-play now, right? I took him down dead easy. Really easy. I didn't even set it up, nothing. Just double leg from nothing. Right? I passed his guard easy. I overzealously went for a sit-through guillotine. We ended up scrambling back to the feet. At the time, I was on a slight bit of hamstring trouble. I shot in for a single leg, and I failed it halfway through. I had to drop to the floor because my hamstring had strained. So he took my back, right? He had body triangle, everything. He had the choke fully on, fully under the neck for about a minute. I had no defence whatsoever, and he still could. That's how weak he is. He had the full choke, and he still couldn't choke me. I was there for 2 minutes. I managed to turn into his guard. I couldn't do anything because my hamstring was killing. So I sat in his guard for the remaining 2 minutes of the fight. he couldn't sweep me, he couldn't submit me, he couldn't get back to his feet, he couldn't do anything. If that was an MMA fight, I'd have been elbowing his head into the floor repeatedly. So you can watch the video, do you know what I mean? It'd be completely different in MMA. So you can go on about this grappling match all he wants. He got a couple of points for taking my back. Makes no difference, he couldn't choke me. What's he going to do in an MMA fight? He can't submit me. He get taken down easily. So it's up to him, innit? He can say all he wants, but he's starting to annoy me because people keep talking about him. If he wants to fight, I'll fight him, but I can't see anyone putting it on.
Well, we'll move away from Douglas. You know, when we spoke to you last at Made for the Cage, we were probably a couple of days early in terms of you being able to announce who you'd signed with. Are you gutted that you've had to sort of leave BAMMA behind, or is this the next step in the progression of your career?
Both really. Like, it is the next step, but I am gutted about leaving BAMMA. BAMMA were really good to me. Like, all the staff, Jude Samuels, the matchmaker's great, Izzy's great, he does the PR, you know, everybody was really good to me, you know. I got all right pay out of them, and, you know, they looked after me, they got me good matchups, and it was good to be there, you know. Like, I think they sort of raised my profile, like, more than it was anyway. Like, I was doing all right, but they raised it a lot, and they got me good fights. And to be honest, I wouldn't be, like, in the top 20 rankings now if I hadn't had them fights on that show. So, and, you know, I am gutted to leave them, but there just wasn't enough shows on. You know, I need to get paid, and I need to be active, and, you know, I fucked up in my career early on, taking wrong advice, cutting too much weight, and messed a lot of fights up. So I've got some catching up to do in terms of getting my record right. So I need to be with a good show that's going to get me good fights regularly. And Cage Warriors came in and they made a really good offer, and, you know, Graham believes in me, and Ian Dean believes in me, and, you know, my management thought it was the right thing to do. So.
Now, obviously, Cage Warriors have gone on a massive signing rampage, and quite a lot of the signings they've done are with BAMMA fighters.
Yeah.
Do you see BAMMA being dead in the water now? I mean, how can they come back from losing all of the title holders, or most of the title holders, and all of the guys that pulled in big tickets like yourself?
Well, it's what it is. I think that they're going to go down stay in big arenas, but keep the style of the smaller shows. Like, if you noticed on the Newcastle show, the undercard was pretty much all local guys that are going to sell a lot of tickets. There wasn't that many big UK names on the card. There was a couple at the top of the card, but there was a lot of local guys. I think they'll go down the ticket sales route and try and do that, and just bring in one big guy in the like main event or something. I don't really know, because this is what I was thinking. I was worried as well, thinking, who am I going to fight? Everyone's going to Cage Warriors, so, you know, it's one of them things. I don't know what BAMMA are going to do, but I wish them the best. So,
well, it seems like you've always had a good relationship with them. If they start coming back to the fore, is there a chance that you know, how exclusive is your Cage Warriors contract? How many fights have you got?
Yeah, it's pretty exclusive. It's tied in. The only clause in the contract is a Zuffa clause if Zuffa come, which they probably won't in 5 fights for me. But, you know, that's the only clause. It's 5 fights over 18 months, and you know, it's a pretty tight contract. But I'm happy with it. I'm happy to stay there for 5 fights.
Does that include tough tryouts as well?
I guess so. It's a Zuffa thing, isn't it? So
maybe that is a way in for you. If you don't think you could get in 5 fights, maybe the tough tryout route's still there for you.
I personally, I don't think my record is that bad. Like, if you look into it, it's not bad at all. But, like, if you look at my middleweight record especially, I've only had 2 losses, and they were both decisions. One to Marshman, who at the time had never been the distance and knocked everyone out in the first round, set apart from Noon, who took in the second, I think it was. And then Sutherland, who's, you know, he's been in the UK top 10 probably longer than I've been fighting. So he's one of them things, but it's just, I don't think it looks very attractive to the big US organisations. So I need to get that sorted out. That's pretty much my main priorities. But I don't want to fight cans to do it. That's the thing. I want to fight good guys that are going to raise my game for me.
That's certainly not going to happen in Cage Warriors, though, is it? You're not going to get cans in there. Plus,
no.
we've always said that if that Marshman fight had gone 5 rounds, I think it could have been a different finish.
Yeah, I think it could as well. And I sensed in the 3rd round he was starting to gas, and I started to come on then, but it was too late. You know, you learn from these things. It's the experiences. My camp wasn't the best for that. Luckily, in that camp, I had done a lot of boxing, which was, you know, which helped me out because I couldn't really wrestle. So, like I said, I had a hamstring problem. Nobody really knows about it. I had it for over a year. Like, there was a lot of stuff wrestling-wise I couldn't do at all. So I was specifically bad around that time, but luckily I've been doing a lot of boxing, so it was a good fight, you know. I took a lot away from it and it raised my confidence and it was good, but I'd love to have it again now. Now I'm a bit different, you know, now I've improved.
Of course, Cage Warriors as well, they bring in some of the best from across Europe as well. Is it going to be a matter of, are you going to have to change up how you research opponents now, bearing in mind that they're going to be pulling guys from all over the place?
Yeah, you know, to be honest, since my career's taken a bit of a turn for the better, I've not really researched many people, to be honest. Like, I researched Sutherland and I wish I hadn't, because I was thinking he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do this, blah blah blah. And in the fight, I was getting log jammed. Like, I was too heavy for that fight as it was. And when I didn't realise, I felt fine in the gym. When I got into the fight, I was like, oh shit, I don't feel myself, I feel sluggish. And then I started to panic and I'm getting log jammed thinking he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And to be honest, I'll take a quick look at the guys, who they are. I'll send the video to my coaches and I'll let them worry about it, because I'm just going to do what I do and, you know, just worry about me. So,
has an opponent been named yet, or has anything been mooted around?
No, nobody's been named. My management said wait until next week. So I don't know. Maybe they're looking at somebody on the card this weekend if they come through that, because I've been told to wait till next week. Maybe they're just busy with this card. I don't know, but we'll see. Whoever they give me, you know, whatever.
Well, you're not a shy person. There must be someone on their roster that you quite like the look of to take on.
To be honest, I had a look through the roster on the website the other day, and I didn't really see anybody. You know, I don't want to go jumping into Cage Warriors and calling people out and this, that, and the other. But just whoever, you know. Ian Dean's a great matchmaker. Whoever he thinks I'm gonna put on a good show with, then we'll look at it and we'll take it from there. But it's one of them things. Like, I don't want him to like throw me in straight away with the likes of fucking John Phillips and Chris Fields and stuff like that. But it's, you know, I want to take the fights that are going to progress me to fighting those guys. I just want to fight the best guys and test myself against them. Because if I want to go far in the sport, I'm going to have to fight the good guys anyway. So
yeah. When are you open to fight? I know that you keep pointing out Liverpool.
Yeah, they've told me I'm on the Liverpool card. Yeah, my camp starts this weekend. So.
And what do you think to finish off? What do you think to Shane Mills missing weight? That's a pretty big blow for Cage Warriors this week.
Yeah, I've been reading on Twitter and that, and I think he's been getting a lot of abuse and stuff. But you know, nobody ever means to miss weight. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of them things. It happens, and it's unprofessional. Like, it's your job to make sure your cut's good and, you know, schedule it right. But some things happen, and, you know, different things happen, and you don't always know the circumstances. It's a bad thing, but at least the fight's going ahead and everyone's going to see the fight. They should have kept it a 5-rounder though, I think, you know, but other than that.
I was going to ask you what you thought about that, because I thought it was pretty brave of Cage Warriors to go, nah, that's it, it's not for the title anymore, you've missed weight. I mean, it puts them up there with sort of the Zuffa promotions in terms of their professionalism in the title fights. Is that something you're looking forward to with Cage Warriors, is how, you know, how professional they are in dealing with fighters? And
yeah, that's it. Since the rebranding, I've not actually been to a Cage Warriors show, so I don't really know how it runs and stuff, but I've heard good things. I know Ian Dean's very professional. Obviously, Graham Boylan's very good at his job. Look at what he's done to the promotion since he's taken over. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting involved, and hopefully they stick me on one of them Dubai cards, because the sunbeds are fucking costing me.
How excited are you to be fighting in Liverpool? It's, you know, is that?
It's basically a hometown show for me. Like, I'm not from Liverpool. I'm a few miles down the road, but Liverpool's where I've spent my whole career. Or, you know, a lot of my friends are in Liverpool. I've always trained in Liverpool. I've always been associated with a Liverpool gym. So it's, you know, my boxing coach, who's basically my main coach, and like my mentor, he's from Liverpool. He's well known in the area, and, you know, so it'll be really good for me to fight in Liverpool. You know, I'm really excited to fight the Echo Arena. I like fighting all the arenas. Like, I've been lucky to fight a lot of them, and you know, the Echo it's just another one. So it'd be good.
And to finish off, have you had your bath, or are you about to jump in the bath? Because we thought we were doing the interview with you in the bath.
I said I was going to do the interview in the bath. Listen, you said you didn't want to, otherwise I'd have been in the bath. Right? I'd have been in the bath. You know what I mean?
So to finish off, is there anyone that you like to thank, any sponsors or anything?
Yeah, just all my sponsors, man. Everyone. Like, I always forget somebody in this bit because I'm lucky to have quite a few sponsors. Fight Shop, Body Active, Colossal Training, Jayco MMA Apparel, Sandy, just everyone. No Hats, No Hoods Records. Everyone that helps me out. There's so many people. If you go on my website or my Facebook or my Twitter or anything, you'll be able to see them all and that. But I don't know. I hate that one. I should prepare that every time, but I don't.
We get yelled at for that. They tell us that
at this moment in time, my girlfriend, she's in hospital with like a blood infection in Newcastle. I'm like 200 miles away. I was going to go down, but she's told me not to go down because she wants me in camp and not missing any training. So she's, you know, I just want to say get well to her and that.
Yeah, well, we send our best wishes to her as well. I've been following on the Twitter and stuff, so hopefully within the next couple of days she'll be back with you.
Yeah, hopefully giving me shit and spending my money.
So we include that as well.
yeah, if you want.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for the interview.
Thanks for your time, pal.
No worries. Thank you.
Man.
Nice one. Cheers.
Right,
see you later.
Thanks, Leeroy.